New Year. That's where we started. Oh my gosh.
And
we're back. Finally.
And I'm
Happy
already
New
hoarse.
Year. Yeah. Yeah, you're already hoarse for 2019 for the new year. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Did you notice that on Facebook a lot of folks said that 2018 was a rough year?
Yeah.
A lot of folks kept saying that, but then I started scrolling through their timelines and I didn't see none of the roughness. I was confused. I was like, so more of this best life. Then at the end of the year, 2018 kicked my tail. Like a lot of folks were saying that.
But then, like, are you really going to put on Facebook, oh, yep, January, got my butt kicked. February, got my butt kicked.
For instance, if you scroll through like I said, we had a rough year. So if you scroll through my timeline, you'll see that in January, my grandma passed. You'll see, that my sister was going through stuff from the months of February to August. You'll see that.
How?
Because I put it was subliminal hints. I didn't ever say
breadcrumbs to
right. I never said because nobody comes to Facebook for woe is me.
Right.
I mean, nobody wants to see that.
Never mind.
Right. That's not love and light. That's not what my whole theory of life is.
Right.
But you could get hints throughout.
I feel like but I don't feel the same for mine. And I don't feel like the year was horrible, but it was a lot of internal struggles that I had. So
right.
That
wouldn't have shown up.
Yeah,
right.
You wouldn't have seen that until maybe the end when I shared that. But definitely there was a lot of love and light and fun and best life, tons of travel. You know what I mean? So
right.
I think people, I don't know, because I saw somebody's post that was saying y'all over here acting like 2018 was so bad.
I did see that.
Come off of it.
I did see that.
So do you think that people just caught the bug and then was like, me too?
Not me too again.
Oh, shoot.
Dang.
They're so
2018. We're leaving
Me Too.
We're keeping Me Too in 2018, okay?
Oh,
we can't say Me Too no more. No more Me Too.
Dang. Wait,
neither of them.
No more.
I knew.
I mean, but R. Kelly.
Are we about to talk about this already?
He crossed over into 2019, and I just can't. I'm not ready.
We can't do that yet. We can't even talk about that yet.
I'm not ready to. I have feelings. I have thoughts. I have questions. I have collections of conversations that I've had from men,
with several
from
people,
women.
Yeah.
I have comparisons with other artists. It's just too much for me to be able to to speak on it yet.
Dang, because I was really about to start asking you questions.
Should we save it for I don't know.
It's so current. We have to hit it now. This is Friend Fix.
But
Friend Fix. We are so excited,
girl. We haven't even done the real Friend Fix stuff.
I'm so ready to jump into this because I'm so excited to be back. So okay, all right. So here we are, about to go into these conversations already because we missed y'all so much. But let's rewind.
Okay.
Let's talk about some of the things that we have committed to for 2019. Shall we?
Yes, let's. Well, for 2019, I feel like, we need to stop saying black don't crack because it does.
Well.
And you ladies need to hydrate.
Oh my gosh. So
and moisturize.
So my husband's favorite word is moisturization. I'm not for sure if he made that up. I'm pretty sure he did. But he's since we've been married, he's like, you need to get a moisturization routine. Because
okay, Mary Kay. What is his routine?
Girl, but that's one thing. Let's just talk about it. Sometimes men are much better at self-care. I think we've had this conversation.
I mean, my husband has a standing appointment with his personal barber. I mean, it's a place, but he calls him and gets mad at him and all that.
What are you mad about?
You have a person.
I do. I have a stylist.
I don't.
Mm-hmm. You have a nail girl. You were
sorry, Lily. She probably like, where is she? Where is she? My toes.
Girl, don't talk about it. Hush. That's nobody's business.
Okay, so 2019 is not starting out well with me for self-care. I don't know.
Seriously, I have not gotten my toes done. Like, I was trying to figure out a way to do that today, but, you know, after a 7-hour drive, I wasn't able. I wanted a lot of naps. I want a lot of Keishas.
This is so first world, but I definitely I had to paint my own toenails. I realized I hadn't done that in so long. So apparently I've been doing my own really good self-care with going and seeing Lily. But I painted my own toenails. They never dried. They didn't dry for they still probably aren't dry. So I don't understand how you get them to dry. Maybe my nail polish is so old. Shout out to Zoya, because I have tons of really good nail polish. That mess it didn't matter. It could have been Wet n Wild for all I know.
But I did think it was cute how your tights left a
fuzzy black
design
print. And then my Converse, I had those. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't know how long it takes. Maybe my feet are just so sweaty that they just
stay moist. They just stay moist.
Golly.
So, yeah, moisturization.
Okay.
Moisturizing.
Hydration.
Drink your water.
Drinking water. I mean, what else?
What was the other one? Oh, you said sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
In 2019. That's a t-shirt.
Sunscreen 2019. Definitely shout out to all of the sisters, but specifically the light-skinned ones in which the sun definitely will do damage. Like, I have a sunspot right here that I'm not happy about.
Well, you were living your best life at the beach.
I know. And I went to college in the sun. I'm from California.
I was about to say Grand Canyon. No, where'd y'all go?
Denver.
Out there frolicking in the
parks. They also call me Sunshine. So, I mean, why not have sunspots? Gosh. Oh, a gift and a curse.
You are definitely becoming one with your name, girl.
I mean, okay. So, but honestly, your word. Because last year, remember we talked about word for the year and then passwords that we would change.
Gosh, yeah.
And I actually listened to it. So it's not like my memory is that good. I know you think it is. But I did listen to our podcast from last year.
What was mine?
I don't remember.
I know what it was.
Was it? What was it?
Overflow. What was yours?
I thought yours was something like overflow or increase. I don't remember what mine was.
But overflow ended up being, like I said on my Facebook post, like an overflow of grace and overflow of understanding. Ooh. And overflow of patience. So I had an overflow of growth. Last year.
Growth. And that's the thing I love about these words. And you know what? I need to go back and figure out what my word was, because I think that it happened, but I'm not sure.
How you gonna bring it up in?
The year before was winning, and I did. So I think I was like still reeling from the winning part. But this year, it's multiply, which is like, I don't know, but it came to me, and I'm here for it. So I really think it means multiply our downloads on the podcast.
I knew you were about
that
to
being
say
said,
that.
you know, it's my birthday month. And we're celebrating all summer.
So a gift
winter
to Sharifa could be
sharing
is sharing our podcast with a friend that you think would enjoy listening to us as they work out, as they clean the house, as they sit in traffic so they won't be alone.
And the ultimate multiply would be like share with more than one friend.
Share it on your pages.
Share it And we are doing something a little bit different in 2019 as well. And so maybe you guys will be able to track our moisturization because we are filming while we record.
We are.
So I don't know. Okay, so people who listen to podcasts, it won't matter. Like, you probably don't care. But for people who don't, and maybe just want to check us out and watch us instead of listen, because there's people who love YouTube, don't care about podcasts. So we will be on YouTube in our site, because all of our episodes are actually audio on YouTube already.
Yes.
But now you actually can visualize the moisturization and the hydration and the sunscreenation.
I like that. You and your friend. So yes, new focus for this year. We are really excited about this new endeavor. One of my mentors has really been pushing us.
Ooh, hey.
Shout out to Lisa.
So the hard thing, y'all, is that apparently I turn into Barbara Walters when I see myself on camera.
Yes.
So Keisha tries to hide us from
I had to do that now.
the camera, and so I have to check every once in a while. So if you hear my voice switch, it's because I've gone all baba wah wah on you, and I am keeping it official. Okay, it's gone. Now we can get back to business.
Goodness. All right, so we've spoken a lot about the Hubster. That looks like some good apple juice.
Pause.
What?
So, what is it about?
That's teacher talk.
I feel like we should talk about it right now.
Because you just took a swig.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm with it. So many of you might have seen my Facebook post, my Instagram post about me having my big shades on, trying to creep over to the adult beverage section.
Right.
Trying to be all incognito because it's just been this thing since I've become an educator. That I just don't necessarily want to be caught in the liquor section.
Yeah, so why?
It's just it's faux pas thing. I think it's just the idea of what if the wrong parent catches you over there? Will they try to run your name through the mud, drag your name through the mud?
Oh, around town.
Yes.
Not to your boss.
No.
Just
but around town. And you know, if it really is historical, like it goes back in history. Like if we looked up the original rules for a teacher, they treated teachers as if they were nuns. You know, like just not living a life.
Right.
So, I mean, it's always been, it used to be a point of contention with me and my husband. He's like, you're grown. Right. And I'm just like, my reputation though. And in the South, like your cousin said on our Instagram post, I do think that it might be a little bit more of a deal.
Yeah, because, I mean, in California, they call it a liquor store. They don't call it a package store. Like, it's clear that it is, and the liquor is sold in the grocery store. Hardcore liquor is in the grocery store. It's not like a separate off Skid Row where you got to go and get it. Like, it's in Safeway. So, when you check out, that's what, like, I never experienced, I'm like, a package store, and I'm like, why does it have to be in a bag when you walk out? Like, it just seems like it's a whole lot of, like,
hiding, covering up.
Yeah. And I'm like,
Bible Belt type.
That's what it was, because when I first moved here, you couldn't even buy alcohol on Sunday. So
oh my gosh,
weird.
yeah, and we didn't even have it in my hometown at all. People used to have to drive like 30 miles away to get it.
Yeah, so that is pretty, and I think we just voted on like the mimosa law that you get to move. Like it really is like, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit hypocritical though, because like you literally can buy liquor on Saturday night. We used to buy it at all the way up until 11:45, but at midnight, no. But you got all your liquor for Sunday on Saturday, and you're still drinking. So
it's crazy.
It's a lot of just extra cover up, try to pretend like you're this way when you really aren't.
And then you see, I don't know. I mean, I know we follow a lot of teachers on online or whatever on Instagram. And what I love though is this movement of parents giving teachers wine. And like it's these cute little tags that says, "I know my child has caused you to drink," or something like that.
Like you need more than me. You need this more than me because you do with my kid more than I do.
Basically,
stuff like that.
So I'm here for that movement. I think that's awesome, but I don't think that is okay in my county.
But I also so I get your position because you work in your county, you have grown up in your county, so it's not just your job. It really is like all the other things that are connected to it. And I've never worked I probably will in this year probably work in the same area that I teach, and I'll probably be a little more like, okay,
there's so-and-so's mom. She's gonna see me dipping over here.
So one of my kids, actually it was just yesterday, saw my keychain, and my husband has a beer bottle opener on my keys. And so he's like, "Oh, you be drinking beer, Minette?" And I was like, and I almost was like, I'm grown, but then I was like, well, should I confirm that or just go on?
Right, we're role models.
I'm 21.
That's the thing, though. Like, kids look up to us. I mean, it's just like, remember my goddaughter, I wouldn't drink in front of her because I just didn't want her to feel like that's something she had to do. Like, because I know a lot of our students.
As a teen.
Yes.
But then also we're adults, so it might be something that you can say, oh, well, when they're 21.
Yeah, but I think they have so much more access to things, and they take anything to justify their what they're doing. So it might be like, oh, Miss Ned and Miss Mitchell, they get beer on the weekends because I see that beer bottle cap opener or whatever. Right. So now it must not be too bad. They doing it. You know what I mean?
Right. And then I do have my little girl friends, girl students who are like, you go to the club? I'm like, no, I go to lounges and sip wine. And they're like, oh. So that makes it like a classier thing versus turning up at the club.
Right.
Like, I'm a classy lady. I'm not that kind of lady. And they're like, oh, okay, well. Jazz.
Right.
Is it jazz? Yes, jazz. Smooth jazz.
Yeah. So like we open their little worlds up to different things, whether that is just drinking a sangria on the weekend or whether that is drinking some hard liquor.
Don't look at me too hard now. Sunshine.
That apple juice, child. That apple juice. Look, still clutch my pearls. No. That apple juice.
But ooh, girl, speaking of pearls.
If you don't stop this segue. Yes. What about the pearls?
Okay. So I think it's just
this is the elephant in the room, BTW. If y'all aren't following, we have done friend fix mixed in with elephant in the room mixed in with some teacher talk.
All of it.
We have so many things to talk to you about. We are flowing.
So much conversation. And we hadn't even mentioned the fact that we actually been around each other for the last couple of months, like nonstop, without taping any podcasts. Happy New Year.
Whoop, whoop.
Happy birthday.
Whoop, whoop. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh my gosh, we really were together for every...
It's okay. It's nice.
Except Thanksgiving. What happened to Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you hibernate over Thanksgiving break.
I said you went to Disney.
No. No, you hibernate over Thanksgiving break though. You got to remember that because we watch the game, the Iron Bowl, like we do every year. Y'all don't ever come out for that because you hibernate. Yeah. So you can go hard in the paint in December and
in January. Yeah.
I got it. I remember that now.
So, yesterday was, or January, illustrious sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority incorporated, our Founders Day. It also is the great MLK's birthday. Side note, because we live in Atlanta, so that's a big thing.
Yes.
But Kamala Harris, who we love, one of our close friends from the the United States of Women's March. We saw her speak.
Yeah.
Not March.
It was
Summit.
Yeah, the Summit.
We saw her speak so many different times that we're like, we saw Michelle Obama up close. We saw Kamala.
Before the book tours.
So all these people were just like, all right, Yes, we were in the building with them closely and in like panels and stuff like that. So she went to DC, okay, George Washington University, which is, close to Howard. So a lot of her sorors from the area, because she went to Howard, and Howard is the originator of our sorority. So on Founders Day, it's kind of cool. People just take trips up to DC just for that. And it was our 111th year. And so she had mentioned Howard and the sorority at this book tour talk. And
when she mentioned her sorority, there was a sound.
Can you
do it? Is your voice together?
My voice is not, but the words are ski to the we. Okay. You all know the high pitched like that, but you know
when it comes all together.
20 plus years ago, I was a very loud tail, and I would screech it and start it off and do all that. Nowadays, my voice is gone.
It's too much deeper.
Too much podcasting. But anyways, so the Ski Wee came out all around the room. Probably tons of soros got together just to go see her. I could imagine, because she's one that I would be like, so hyped for. So anyways, the journalist who was covering the event.
What was her name?
Oh, girl.
Let me see. I have it in our notes.
She was harassed by her because of her comments. The comments were referring to the Ski Wee as a screech. And she's like, I was surprised by the screeches.
After she mentioned her time at Howard.
Right. And she even said her Howard sorority sisters screeched.
At the mentioning.
And so Black Twitter got her and schooled her on things she needs to know. Now, I was watching The View, and the question Whoopi, because I don't even know the lady's name. She's a soror too who's on there. I don't watch The View like that, but I did watch a clip on her, and she was saying she also is a soror. So Whoopi was asking her if she thinks that like journalists who cover Black things, or should that Black journalists be the only ones that should cover Black things that are going on? Because any other Black person who heard that would understand that's what that was, and it would be a totally different thing.
Yeah, like they would have known immediately. It wouldn't have been a question.
It wouldn't have been a surprise.
No.
It wouldn't have been...
Nobody would have been startled.
No, and it probably maybe wouldn't even been mentioned. Or if it was, it would have been mentioned specifically.
Right.
And the conversation was basically like, every journalist needs to know. Joy was like, there's so many sororities and fraternities. How is she supposed to know what each one does? And specifically, they were like, no, the historical fact is Black sororities and fraternities were created because they could not get into the other ones. That's a history fact. It's not we should know all about no, you should know about those because they are relevant to whatever's going on. Like, why do we have them in the first place? Like,
right.
So, and then another one said all journalists need to know more. So it's not about their race. They need to be like informed. It's poor journalism to cover someone on this day and not know about what they did
and not make
in that
assumptions
city.
And just not make assumptions, because if I'm looking at it blind and I'm just trying to look at it without any background knowledge and just know what I know of maybe white sororities, then if I saw that she was a part of a sorority and I'm doing my research, she's a part of AKA, okay. So if I'm thinking about Tri Delt, I'm just thinking I'm going in there and it's just a regular sorority. Right. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
they don't hold true past college years like that. It's rare that you're still representing and you're still doing your sign and you're still supporting in that kind of way.
Right. It might just come up in a conversation,
which is opposite of historically Black.
Completely opposite.
Like they're all in for life.
But I did see this tweet where this guy said that this is just such an interesting experiment. I was like, God, I need to do this some kind of way with the teachers, maybe. Like, you know, so this guy said that he made his students do keep track of how many whatever they were, non-white, non-black, whatever, people they spent more than 5 minutes with over a period of time. And he said that it reminded him of that because, you know, on average, the black people spent 8, like came and had quality time or like a quality conversation of 5 minutes or more with about 8 on average. That was just on average. And the white people didn't have any.
Okay.
So, you know, it just goes back to me, it goes back to being curious, like asking, like digging, wanting to know about other people, and like not assuming all the time that you understand.
Right. And we can talk about dominant culture all the time.
Yeah.
Where, why do I know about Tri-Delt and you don't know about AKA? You know what I mean? Because, I know that all the kids that I went to college with, some were black, some were white. So some of the white kids pledged their freshman year. Right. And that's how they do it. Right. They would not know at all about what I went through because it was like, oh, great, sorority, check, and then move on. But you never even thought about
inquired, yeah.
Or it was, well, why do they have black ones? It wasn't about like what it was about, anything like that. It was all about like the fact that there was a black one and a white one, and they were offended by that. But you didn't even ask for the real reason. It was like, well, what if I wanted to be in it? Could I? It wasn't, how did that come to be? Right. So it was just, you know, people can be very dismissive when they think they know the answers to everything.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really cool fact that in a talk that I did, there was...
what talk was that?
It was the culturally responsive education through science. And it was the teachers, the black teachers in the room. First of all, they assumed, and they were right, that they knew a lot about another person in the room who was white. And they were more accurate in their assumptions because they know dominant culture and they know black culture. So they're kind of almost like bilingual when it comes to this world.
I like that.
And then it was like, you know, most of the white people couldn't really, or were scared to actually address an assumption because they thought that they would say the wrong thing or they would, you know, and it's because they hadn't had that many experiences with people of another race in order to understand what was safe to say and what was not.
Right.
So, poor girl.
So the question is, you know, how do we fix this? You know, I always like to not only bring up something.
I really think it's that. It's like spending time and like actually, and I hate the whole, I don't see color. But if you can like get past the color part and like find the commonalities, then you can ask about the color issues.
Right.
So if you step past the whole...
But that's a problem. This is a perfect example of why not seeing color is not a positive thing. You know, this is a perfect example. I don't see color, so a sorority is a sorority is a sorority. You know? Right. What are we doing? There's nothing different. I was in a sorority, she's in a sorority. Let's move on.
Right.
Now I hear this call, and I'm like, what is that?
Preach. Now, my friend Amy, we talk about sorority stuff all the time because I love her perspective because she's white and she was in a white sorority in college. And so we compare our experiences all the time. And she even is like, she's a grad, I guess it's called a grad chapter member or whatever, but she's still kind of involved in her sorority at LSU. And she was just like telling them, what you guys need to do is look at how the black sororities model themselves, because y'all are dying off and they're getting stronger and stronger as they get older and older because of the connection, because of the tradition, because of the like expectation that when you get out of college, you will serve in a business way for your sorority. They be like, we partied in college, now we about to do whatever. Like it's not as serious. And she was like they need to look towards, as usual, the Black women to show you how it's done. And I was like, I get that. And she said that they, you know, she can't even speak on how it was received. She didn't even know how it was received. But she was like, I just see through what you've explained to me and what other people have explained that it's a bigger deal for you guys than it is for us. And if we want the tradition to keep going, then what we gonna do? Like, just have beer bong parties and be done? Or are we really gonna do community service? Are we really gonna do galas? Are we gonna do, you know, the things that adults do? Which I thought that was kind of cool, because we would have never gotten to that point if she was like, oh, I did a sorority, you too, good, check, and moved on. You know? And so that we have that relationship first the relationship, and then the relationship should be able to lead to all kinds of honest conversations without offense.
Right. Because it is off-putting when conversations occur that are, I guess questioning or being curious. If at first you don't know where the person is coming from.
And I mean, we definitely, there's a lot on this topic, and we talk about this stuff all the time. So I think that that's something that we are going to go into a little bit more. But I think that also people of color, the need is for you to be willing to hear their heart in it all. And it may sound stupid, and it may sound like people don't really understand, and they don't. And that's the thing. So the fact that they're actually asking is a step, because actually the opposite of that is racism. Like you just sitting in it, being ignorant, and being okay with that. So the people that are actually coming and asking questions, even if it is your hair do that naturally? Like they really are trying to like make a connection and figure out the differences.
Yeah.
And sometimes we take it like, don't touch my hair. But really it's like a curiosity that if we were to address it the right way, it could lead to learning and growth instead of off-putting and scared to ask another person about anything that's different.
That's true.
But I know we get tired
of always having to educate.
It's true.
Yeah, it is tough.
Okay, so I have a student who is white in an all-black class, and she's only a freshman. So they my babies get so much older and so much more wise. When they first come, they just really don't know. And this is the first day of class, and she really was like, do I really look that corny? Like, that was the question she asked me. And I was like, and this is like on her way out, like she was just trying to figure out like how, I feel like she was trying to figure out how to navigate in that world.
Oh yeah, because that's not a normal setup.
It's not. Mm-hmm. And they learn quickly. And these students come out, like, I'm so proud of who they are as people. But I said, you know what? No, you don't look that corny. I said, you look like a freshman, and you look like a beautiful little girl who is going to blossom, and you're going to learn so much. And I was like, just be open to all the differences. I'm like, you were going to be a great person because of this experience. She was so relieved. She was just like, and I really think she was asking me if I thought she was a corn. And I'm like, no, baby. Like, no, I'm not going to judge you, but it's just very, and she's come to find out she's Mormon. So like that is even more of a extreme than just like a Methodist or a Baptist or whatever. She's got other things. She was hesitant to even tell me that, but I'm like, okay. So she's going to get an awakening of a lifetime in her 4 years. Yeah. Bless her heart.
Shoot, she is already out to a great start.
But the fact that she is aware that maybe something is a little bit off and she's a little uncomfortable, like uncomfortability is the place to be if you're trying to learn something else. You can't just be comfortable all the time.
To sit in it
and
for a
grow.
Minute, though. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Woo.
Oh,
well,
goodness,
that's our podcast. We're done.
Catch your breath.